And so tell us a little bit about what that would look like, but then what some of those models are, what you would imagine this would look like in a big way, and then maybe Senator Warner, you jump in as well on what strikes me as part of the dilemma of this is that if there's any dimension of government activities these days that the American people seem to be more broadly or most broadly disaffected about, it's actually public education, which in my view is actually probably not doing as bad a job as many people think, but we've lost confidence in the ability of the public education system to manage much simpler kinds of educational tasks than what you're describing. And so what is this going to look like? The kinds of things that would prepare workers for these sorts of roles, and then is there actually a way or a political will for the government to be part of that?
So we have an education reform debate right now that is stuck in huge debates about the poor classroom teacher, on whom huge burdens have been placed because that was a system that was designed 100 years ago. Now, instead of imagining it's all about the classroom teacher and is the teacher good enough, think about the whole design of the system. Instead of an assembly line where we march through the grades like a unit being produced on different stations of an assembly line, how about we had a system where we individualized the education for every single student? Instead of a mass production model, it was an individualized model. And the students are being taught by teams that apply different specialties to the different students who need different things. And you say, oh, that's utopian, that can't be done. It's being done. It's being done now. The technology to do it already exists. It's being done at a place like Arizona State University, huge public school. Every single person who takes freshman math at Arizona State, thousands of them, now take an individualized set of instructions that both leverages online capabilities but has human coaches intervening at different stages, using the power of technology but with a personal human touch. It's not technology versus human beings in this game. It's not online education versus personal education. The 2.0 way of thinking about this is how do we blend them together? How do you empower humans armed with the machines to provide caring services even better than they do now?
And we do need to empower those humans, but we need to recognize, and I think one point I would agree with Philip on is there is the ability to individualize through the tools of technology that I don't think we've fully understood. And let's be candid. Education has not been disrupted by technology. The promise of it has been around for a while, but the actual disruption, other than some kind of one-off for-profits that have had very mixed results. We need to empower people, but we also need, I believe, we don't want an America, I don't want an America at least, where 70% of Americans are doing fine until there's not, and there's no social insurance, and they then have to fall back upon, candidly, a social insurance that is government funded that is underfunded at this point. So having some level of shared responsibility during that working period, and many of these companies are willing to do their part if we can break out some new models. Let me give you two examples. One is, if you choose when you work and where you work, the notion of unemployment insurance may not be as relevant. The notion of income insurance, though, because if you get disrupted because of something beyond your control, might be a relevant tool that could be used. Many people in this gig or on-demand economy have very erratic income streams. And I think one of the challenges in our process right now, yes, is income inequality, but is equally as much income insecurity. 60% of Americans couldn't absorb a $400 unexpected bill without going to a family member or going into bankruptcy.